upstairs. Nia coming in, but will take the hit. Eruption on the generator as well. Eruption and Call of Ride. Nia does take a hit through the wall. So I don't know if better. Oh, and the dissolution value. These survivors. Deliverance from Claudette. Sprint bursting to the heart.
It's the same with these masks in the one event. She didn't get a mask either.
No!
Michael.
Oh,
That, yeah, oh, that was live. Look at this thing.
There. Trying.
Pokey, nerf Nancy, man.
She's gonna get hacked, maybe.
Oh my god, she might just get hacked potentially. I think she does. Holy cow. I cannot believe.
They do get the spirit reset and they get the down.
Yes, they will get the survivors leaving the trial, and there's going to be the teleport. But she's right here. Nia needs to go.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. I'm your host, Little Rugard. Joining me today is none other than Commissioner-in-Chief himself, Guildspire. You ready for another exhibition match? Another Friday?
That I am. I believe this is our fourth, if not maybe fifth exhibition match, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying them. I've been always happy to see them as we get to see some really unique killers, some more unique builds, as these teams duke it out for some prize money outside of the regular season. But we are jumping right on in, and it looks like we got ourselves an Oni on the Coal Tower.
You know, I gotta agree, I am loving these exhibition matches. I could not be happier that we're seeing these more and more often, and with that said, this Oni is not gonna have to wait too long, as this Corrupt Intervention is very saturated with survivors, and they're gonna find their first chase relatively quickly. That's a bamboozle to boot. Where'd she go? Oh, a balanced landing. Well played there. My goodness, I did not see that coming. Though looking now to take chase with the Ace instead, kind of figuring out what survivor they want to take chase with. Ada back here as well. There are so many survivors in one singular spot. I am so surprised here. Coming around the corner and not seeing where the survivor went. They straight up disappeared. Unless this is a head-on. Is this a potential head-on? No, it was, and they just barely missed it. Unfortunate. However, worth noting is that, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely see a haste status effect there. And Ada coming back around, it will take a hit there. There is the blood. Shattered Hull coming into huge effect here, giving them a lot of extra blood. Chasing around this pallet, Ada is gonna be going down in just a second, unless Naomi gets his power. Good fake out there at the pallet. Oh my goodness, the patience on this survivor is incredible. However, that is a lot of blood, and Oni not wanting to go back into that pallet, or sorry, that window in the main building. They will take their leave after getting their power. Notice again that there is a haste status effect. If you can tell, this is a survivor that is the obsession. I think you might be able to point out what perk this potentially is. And they do go down. First hook incoming here. Their power just about there. I think they're waiting to show their power in just a second, though I think the survivors, if they are keen, will recognize the Oni does have their power at this point. First hook coming in there. Obviously, no pain res, there's no damage generator. There's one gen. No deadlock either to boot. Not a whole lot of slowdown coming from this Oni here. I think survivors might have been anticipating a pain res or a deadlock, but not seeing anything is very curious here. There's the power being popped. Notice the Aikido scratch. I believe that is 8% faster movement speed. Now Oni looking around for this next generator to possibly squelch. They know what gen is being worked on. However, there is something. There's gen. That gen is yellow. Is that a eruption or not? Oh, Nancy coming back at the last possible second there. Two separate generators nearly completed. There's the second generator. Oni going back and maybe securing this second stage here, as nobody has come around for it. Gen's still regressing here. Uh-oh, this might be the Nancy. Will there be a deflict? No, they get into the blocker just in time. However, Nancy has nothing here. There is the down. No explosion, so that is not eruption. That must be a Call of Brine. That is, oh, are they gonna get second stage? They do secure the second stage. Survivor's not able to get there in time. Nancy also going to be hooked kind of close back here. There's that unhook coming in. This will be, sorry, third hook stage here for the Oni. I've only seen 2 hook animations, so I'm a little bit curious. Not breaking these middle doors either, but there's the blood trail. Oni is going to get his power very quickly. Oh no, Ada found out. If there is not Ada's size to strike here, Ada is going back to the campfire, and this is going to be huge. Oh, it's the firecracker. They get the blinds. Beautiful firecracker.
Insane right there.
I can't believe they got that. That was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we don't see the firecracker come into play often, except over maybe pallets once in a while, but that absolutely got its value and then some. But unfortunately, Ada going back down, unless there's another survivor here to drop the pallet and stun the Oni, they are going back to the campfire via the entity.
Absolutely. We see Nancy over there in the distance. They are self-carry. That is going to be a blood bank, and with Oni nearly about halfway to his power, Oni sees that over here. This might be another power coming up just a second. Oh, actually, that's not as much blood as I was expecting at all. I thought there was going to be a lot more blood from that.
Yeah, it sometimes can be a little bit deceiving, and I mean, there's also the fact that the blood orbs do despawn over time, so maybe Oni just got here at the wrong place, wrong time, and ended up not getting as much as what it seemed. It does take a while, but like you'd be surprised how long these blood orbs can just be sitting out sometimes and not really realizing it until they do disappear. But we did see Survivor over by Shaq's side. Oni, though, not wanting to give chase, instead wanting to get their power so that way they can go for the next insta down. And sure enough, here comes the wrath of the Oni.
Absolutely. Again, just I can't overstate this enough. I love this killer's design so much. It has a hyper lethal power, but also this dude is terrifying. This is one of the most terrifying design killers for behavior. I love the Oni.
I would tend to agree. Also, just really good cosmetics, really good power, really good design. I think, realistically speaking, Oni could be seen as like a top-end killer if it weren't for the fact that the ceiling is just so much higher than where the Oni is right now. But like when you consider him versus Nurse versus Blight, it's obvious to see why he isn't viewed as a, you know, A tier, if not S tier killer in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, the lethality is just insane. But yeah, the fact that survivors, especially, oh, they actually get the Nancy picked up. Nobody back here. This gen has just been, you know, whoever is here has completely disappeared. But yeah, on that note, yeah. Oh, there's the Claudette. They actually did. They did get caught in the end. I don't know if Oni's actually gonna chase it or not. But yeah, going back to what you said, yeah, Oni, I would say, is probably near top A tier killer. But the fact that survivors can wait out his power so long unless you get a really lucky hit. There's a whole lot of counterplay to this killer, so I can definitely see it. Yeah, they're not quite Blight or Nurse tier for sure, but near and dear to our hearts nonetheless.
Agreed. Looks like Ace kind of getting caught up here. That hill's always such an impossible place to escape the killer unless you're able to just break line of sight. Ace just unable to do so, though. However, does have the pallet here at Shaq still in hand, though. A little bit of mind game for the Oni does force them to drop pallet early, but we do see a generator popping off in the distance.
Absolutely. I'm curious though why they didn't go for the hook on the Nancy. I'm wondering if they want a fresh hook and maybe trying to, you know, fresh hook everybody, as the Nancy's only worth 3 more points, whereas if you get another survivor, it's an entire extra 3 points just for that first hook.
Yeah, it definitely is a very real possibility. That, and also I think just Oni realizing now that there's 3 survivors in the match, you know, having 1 slugged out, 1 in chase, it means that one other person either has to go for the pickup, or at the very most, there's 1 person on a gen. So just, I think just playing the odds and running the numbers, the Oni here just decided it was the right course of action.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. That makes a lot of sense, and this will be first hook for the Ace here, an additional 3 points. And now try to figure out, I don't know where you go for here. I don't think the Oni has necessarily a kind of a 3 gen to speak of. Maybe that back corner, but oh my goodness, look at the blood. That was the blood that I was expecting last time we were here. And oh man, Oni is pumped up and ready to go. Will they be able to pop a 4th generator here before someone goes down? I'm very curious for this corner gen. Oh, it's nearly done.
Some decent amount of progression, but not enough to get complete. We'll see it progress there by 2.5%. And we did see the gens highlighted yellow earlier, which is in fact a Call of Brine, which is regressing to gens at 200% per second thereafter.
Oh, that was so cheeky. Nancy coming in for the balance landing, but Oni with this Oni stutter stepping mind games in their demon rush has been absolutely amazing. Some really fantastic downs, and that is second hook coming in. There's the Call of Brine notification though, and they finish it in time. That is 4 gens down for these survivors, but I don't know if there's any progress on these other gens.
Yeah, that's the question of the day. Not to mention, though, Oni is going to be in a little bit of a tough spot now. You know, their power has been used past the halfway mark. We do see them in chase of Ace, however, so if they can get them vaulting and dropping pallets, you know, that's going to be a huge place for the Oni to be to get their power back up again, and I think that's exactly what they're looking at here. Either that or, like you mentioned earlier, it's possible that they might just instead be interested in protecting these gens and just checking on how much progress they're at.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's why I was curious why the Nancy didn't go down, is because obviously a 2v1 is way better, but I understand the slug pressure too, and like you said before, I kept getting corrected on those. Unbreakable is allowed against Oni, which is one of the few killers that Unbreakable is allowed against, I think. So it might have been trying to also just make sure that Unbreakable is no longer an option. Oh, that was so close. Oh, I can't believe that missed.
Yeah, this is our playing with fire to say the least, but Nancy just able to make their ways away twice now. I think this is a balanced landing potentially. Nancy trying to get a little bit of distance here, but Oni hot on their heels and going right across their screen just fast enough for Oni not be able to react in time.
Absolutely. And there's the hit. Nancy going down here. Do they go for the final hit? Yeah, they will take this final hook here, which will be 7 stages secured, 2 survivors down. But I can only imagine. Wait, there's scratch marks in the distance. Wait, what generator are they working on? Oh, that's a 50% generator practically. That means they're split on gens, I think. I don't know where Ace is.
Yeah, I want to say I think what the plan here is to split the gen pressure. Basically say either go to this one over here in this corner, or you go to the one either in main or in the other side, and you really just hammer away at the gens bit by bit, guaranteeing at least the 5th gen completed, if not potentially a 1-man out.
Indeed, and oh, I think that might have been a 7% there as Ace really wants to get some distance away. There's the power though, and looks like they're gonna be going right back to this generator. No notification from Call of Bride just yet. Yeah, there's the Call of Bride notification, and Claudette's gonna have to run for their life. There is no pallet here anymore. Is Claudette the dead hard survivor, or the, no, sorry, the head-on survivor? Oh no, they're hiding. Oh no, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, Claudette trying to use that tree to the best advantage to break line of sight against the Oni, just unable to do so though as they are caught out. Oni now going back for the gen the Ace was on earlier, seeing scratch marks to boot and will get the break on the pallet. Ace for the run of his life, and now they're just hoping that the Claudette might have Unbreakable in hand.
I'm about to say, yeah, their only hope now is the Unbreakable from Claudette, if that's the if they in fact have that perk, though I think we would have seen it by now with that extra per spend and speed. Now is Ace trying to like make his way back to the Claudette? Are they trying to set up for some kind of like hatch play? Like, what's the scenario here for these survivors? What's their left win con? Really not sure. It looks like Ace will be going down here momentarily. Try to deny as much time as possible. I'm wondering if they're trying to let the Claudette hide. Though it's not going to be enough here. This will be second hook coming in for the Ace. I guess if Claudette can stealth out for an additional 3 minutes, there is that scenario. You can stealth out for 3 minutes. It just, I have not seen that much. I've seen 2 minutes. 3 minutes is a bit harsh. And I imagine you probably don't hang out at Shack. You don't want to. I mean, obviously, Oni probably very well aware that the hatch is the play here. We even have an exit gate near the side of the map as well. I will say maybe there is an adrenaline, maybe latently. Especially if Oni's not able to get to the other side of the map after closing the hatch. They don't have their power in hand. Claudette has managed to stealth out, not in this area. They still might, I mean, obviously Unbreakable still could be in play here and just deciding not to utilize it, saying, you know what, Claudette, you're fresh. Take the out if you can get the Unbreakable play. That would be incredible, is if they pinpoint the time that Oni is going to be able to use their power, or sorry, close the hatch, pop the Unbreakable, get the adrenaline to be full health, and then Claudette maybe being able to pull an exit gate play here, but I don't know where the last exit gate is. If it's on Coal Tower side, there's a shot.
I mean, it's not out of the realm possibility, but it's definitely going to be difficult to say the least. But Oni primed and ready to close the hatch here, and we do see just under, I want to say, 2-minute timer on that bleed out, and it is 3 hook states, so the Oni will need to find the survivor on the ground, lest they end up losing out on 3 points, which could be a make or break in this scenario.
Very much so. No adrenaline either. It is nice that the Oni doesn't lose 6 points. Like previous seasons. I do appreciate the extra bleed out rule, but I mean 3 points is noticeable. That's a full hook state. Nothing to sneeze at necessarily, as we've seen games come down to a 1 point difference.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close here to say the least. We'll have to wait and see. With that being said, Oni out on the prowl, trying to find where this survivor might be. Going to be checking every nook and cranny that they could possibly can. But with only 1 minute on the clock, things are going to come down to the wire.
Absolutely. If I was the Claudette, I would be going, oh no, they found her! I was about to say, I'd go to the top of Coal Tower. But I guess trying to hide out, maybe not want to spook a crow there, so... Very, very close, but yeah, they're able to find her with about a minute to spare, and that will be the 4K. Full 24 points for the Oni and 8 points for the survivors.
Yeah, honestly, really good showing by the Oni here, especially as in the early rounds and kind of throughout that middle, things were dragging on a little bit for the Oni trying to get those downs, but in the end, it worked out in their favor with the true 4K there at the very end, with survivors only completing 4 generators, meaning that as far as the mirror match is concerned, they are going to need to get a 4K at 4 gens to tie, and Night Owls will have to get a 4K at 3 generators in order to take the W here in this exhibition match.
Okay, quick question for the dictionary of the group. Does Lucky Break prevent you from dropping blood orbs, or is it just the blood on the ground?
No.
Okay, that's
It's
what I
just
thought.
the blood on the
clarification.
ground.
Just clarification, because it perked my interest, okay? Oh, man. What a fantastic first game, though. That was super fun. That was really back and forth.
Yeah, no, that was a really fun time. Always happy to see some top-notch Oni plays, and we definitely saw that here today. With that being said, we're not done yet, as like we said earlier, we're going to be switching sides here, where we're going to be seeing Night Owls Oni against NoMercy Survivor Team. So we'll have to wait and see if they are able to bring out the 4K at 3 gens completed or less in order to take the W. With that being said, we are going to go on a quick break as we do get this next lobby set up. But before we do, I remind everyone here today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. So that as they watch all the bits that I tip on subs they buy, and of course with the Rogue Energy you buy, using the code COTF. Goes supporting Chambers of Fog and the prize pool for Group A and Group B. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit.
Quick plug, strawberry bubblegum is their new hydration flavor, and it's frickin' delicious. Go buy it. All right, everybody, welcome back to trial number 2 of this exhibition match, the Odie Mirror of the season. What do you think, Gilt? Do you think they're going to be able to tie it? Do you think they're going to win it? Do you think the survivors are going to break their ankles? What's it going to be?
It's going to be close. I'm thinking that as far as build's concerned, it's going to have to be the slowdown of slowdown of slowdown. So I'm thinking Deadlock, I'm thinking Corrupt, I'm thinking everything that you could possibly throw at these survivors to slow down gens in some way, shape, or form. Because like we said earlier, the win condition is going to be a 4K at 3 gens completed or less. And taking an early stun like that, gonna hurt your chances just a wee bit.
Just a wee bit. We also did hear the bamboozle there in the background, so Oni having a little bit of a similar build there. Now we just have to see, like you said, how much slowdown is there going to be? Is there going to be the deadlock? Are we going to see, you know, everything under the sun? Or is this Oni going to be somewhat similar to their predecessor and just... No, they're going to break that chase off entirely. They do not feel comfortable going back. There is a pallet gone there, though. And now Claudette running into the main building. I'm guessing with maybe a balanced landing.
Yeah, would make a lot of sense. Post-balance landing up in main. Honestly, though, that gen can be huge for, like, the last gen of the match where you can really split that pressure. I've seen teams do that time and time again, but at the same time, if I am this team, if I am NoMercy right now, I'm thinking that there's going to be a deadlock in play, and so I would actually 99 a gen if you can do the one up in main. I think that would be a prime candidate for some deadlock bait.
You know, I kind of agree. Okay, obviously, if you're playing Nurse, that's not the case, but, like, every other killer completely that is such a safe gen, you know, try and... I think Deadlock would be good, but we don't know about Deadlock just yet. Oh, that was a beautiful hit around the corner, though. So Oni finally getting his Shattered Hull value, and it's just a matter of time. Do you think they're going to stick and down the Survivor like the previous Oni did, or think they're going to break off and go after another Survivor entirely?
I don't think they can risk it, honestly. Like we said, with the amount of gens that they cannot waste time on, I think that trying to get the down here is a mistake. I think they get their power. I think they get the pallet here. I think they use Wrath and they run. I think that is the right course of action. We see the Wrath pop in. Whether or not they drop chase, we'll have to wait and see, and it looks like they are going to do just that. Yeah,
Corrupt Intervention about to expire here. I would imagine the Hill gen would be the one to prioritize. However, there is scratch marks around here. Oni notices... I think that's the Claudette there, and this Claudette's going to be very careful because the Oni did in fact see it, and yeah, unless there's something... This Claudette's going down. There's no sprint burst here. Will they leave the Slugger? They take the hook here. I think they're taking the hook.
Yeah, they're looking around, seeing if there's someone nearby, maybe afraid of getting some karma with a firecracker, but not happening here as they are going to be dragging Claudette to a hook. Do want to note that does seem to be a further away than a closer hook, so we might see a score event here, and in fact, we do see Scourge, Hook, Pain, Resonance coming on in.
Yeah, I love how not only did we see the score event, we just saw the gen in the upstairs area explode, so Oni also knows that that is the most progressed gen, not the one that Claudette had been on. But yeah, that is Scourge, Hook, Pain, Resonance. So only one other perk to boot here. First hook coming in as the first gen finishes. Pretty even match so far, but Nia has reset, so there's a blood bank somewhere.
Yeah, I also want to note here, one thing that these survivors now know about, though, they know pretty much 3 out of the 4 perks here, Corrupt Intervention, Bamboozle, Scourge, Hook, Pain, Resonance, and they now know there's no deadlock. We saw them pop the gen up in main, and I'm pretty sure they did exactly what I was thinking. 99 the gen, wait to see if there's deadlock. There is no deadlock, pop the gen. And we do see the unhook here on the Claudette, but only looking to go for the tunnel out. Will eat through the BT, but not able to wait out long enough as Claudette will make some distance through main.
Notice the lucky break here as well. So Claudette trying to get some distance. There's the... That's Colubrine. Okay, so that's the last perk. That's Colubrine.
Yeah, that would make sense. So Oni opting to go for the gen regression rather than the gen slowdown. I don't know. I'm not sure if that is the correct course of action here in the grand scheme of things.
We'll have to see. It's very possible. And oh, this Meg's playing with fire. There's the 180 flick, but Meg very precise, dropping that pallet. We'll take the hit, and now they're going to be able to get to this window. It will be blocked off. There's a third generator, though. These survivors are not playing around, and this is still a very safe one for the Claudette, as they are going to get plenty of notifications. This isn't the Akitos crutch. This is the Lion's Fang, so extra duration on that rush. And Meg going all the way back here. This will be a fresh hook on Meg, but that center gen's still firing away, and I think we're going to see it pop here momentarily.
Yeah, and at that point in time, it is going to result in a tie match at the very most here for Night Owls. And if, in instance, these survivors are able to get one more generator thereafter, the 5th generator is all they need in order to secure the win here for NoMercy. Though, Oni kind of take them up there to kick the gen, maybe confuse, seeing if there was a survivor nearby, or maybe they saw maybe a blast mine or something. I'm not really sure.
Exactly that. I guarantee you they were expecting the blast mine play and Ace to come back and pop it in their face to add insult to injury, and they weren't going to have any of it. So good fake there, but no blast mine to be seen.
Yeah.
That would have been so cheeky.
I was like kind of confused. Why did they swing like that? We do get back record there from the Ace over the pallet, as we see all too often. No surprise coming for the unhook though, and it looks like Meg still has about 15, maybe 20 seconds left, but spending this much time means that they were able to get that center gen, and now it comes down to this. It is going to be a tie set if they 4K here and now. Otherwise, Night Owls will see victory slip through their fingers, as NoMercy could potentially complete this 5th generator.
About to say, Gil, where has the Nia been in all this? We haven't seen her for 2 minutes plus. I guarantee you she is cranking this 5th generator somewhere in the back, and Claudette just went to finish it.
Without a doubt in my mind.
And with that said, there is the generator. Oh, that is 4 pistons pumping full steam ahead there. And I'm not gonna lie, I think this Oni is gonna need a very strong hit and a miracle slugfest here. They do have the Lion Song, so they do get a little bit of additional time on their power. But now with this Nia taking chase away, we don't know where the Claudette is. That's not enough for the power after that hits. I think we might see this 5th gen pop in a second.
Yeah, there is. One more Blood Orb. There is an Adrenaline from the Nia on top of which, adding insult to injury, and that there will be a victory for NoMercy in this exhibition match. Looks like Ace, though, playing some cheeky plays here, will get grabbed from the locker, and looks like Oni will keep majority of their power, though, so Zavara's going to have to be very careful on this unhook, if they even go for it.
About to say, I would not go for the unhook here. This is a first hook on Ace, but you've already got your victory condition. I think you just take your outs and, you know, as they say, you take the Nia. Nia coming in like an absolute sociopath, though, taking the hit, giving the Oni his power. Can Ace take the hits at the exit gate? Are they going to bother popping their power? They're not.
They need to, otherwise,
it's too late.
It's going to be a 4-man out, a little bit too late there. We see the flashlights in the exit gate. That there will be the 4-man out for NoMercy. I mean, really, really good showing here by these survivors, playing it very safely around tiles and just giving this Oni no room to breathe.
Absolutely. They were smothering the generators, and Oni, I think they only had a decent start, but couldn't quite convert it. Maybe Deadlock was the play. I don't dislike Pain Res and Colubrine, though. I think that's a good combo, just not able to pull it out in the end. Super close. Super close.
Absolutely.
Really well done, though, but that was super fun to watch regardless. That was a great exhibition match.
It was. Always a fantasy Oni. We don't actually see a lot of Oni this year, this season. This year as well, I guess, because we're starting off a new calendar year, but we don't see Oni a lot. We're actually looking at the data, and we're thinking it's because of Unbreakable. We're seeing that Unbreakable may have just been too powerful against the Oni. So we're looking at next season's rules already, doing some tweaks and balancing based on the data that we have. So might see a ban of Unbreakable against the Oni here, and maybe we'll see more Oni in Season 7, which is coming up really soon, mind you.
Yeah, the way that the brackets are done this time around, making for a shorter season, like, I thought seasons blew by beforehand, and my goodness, they're at a blazing speed now. So that was, what, five weeks of Season 6, and we're already getting ready for finals?
Yep, yeah, we're going to be wrapping up the regular season here this weekend. Then we're going to have semifinals and finals thereafter before we wrap up the month of March. And then immediately after, going into Season 7 qualifiers at the end of April. So we got the ball rolling, and as we do here in COTF, there's pretty much very little downtime except for like the end of the year where everyone's out doing their own thing. But hopefully everyone is excited. I also do want to plug real quick what we're doing tomorrow. I mentioned it last weekend, but I'm going to mention it here again, that we have been given approval to stream DBDCC semifinals and finals on Champions of the Fog. We did do some additions to our layout so you guys know what is what and what's a regular match versus a DBDCC match. You'll be able to see those assets here tomorrow. I believe we'll be streaming here on the main channel at 12, around between 10 and 12 p.m. CST, and then
10 a.m. and 12
10 a.m. Yes, yeah.
10 a.m.
12 p.m.
Don't show up at 12. Don't show up then. Nobody's gonna be live.
That's where you are in the world, I suppose. You know, it's
fair.
12 a.m. for some people.
It's 5 o'clock
but either
somewhere,
ways, We will be streaming that over here on the main channel. Then we'll also be here again at 4 p.m. CST to 6 p.m. CST for the NA semifinals and finals. The first one is EU. And then in between all of that, we still have our matches of Champions of the Fog, which will be both here on the main channel as well as over on Champions of the Fog 2. So if you guys haven't already, definitely make sure to drop a follow there so you don't miss a single moment of some of our really amazing Group A matchups.
Oh yeah, this weekend's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a lot because I know your schedule is gonna be, you know, packed 16 hours, nothing but comp DBD, but for you, the viewer, it's gonna be a blast, and I'm super excited to have it. And I know at least one guest star is gonna be dropping by tomorrow, so
yeah.
got
I mean, if you want to,
no, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Spoil it. All right.
No,
Anyways, you guys know them pretty well. They are not unfamiliar with DBD Comp. In fact, they actually participated here in COTF in some of the earlier seasons.
I was about to say season
this will be
0?
a treat. I want to say season 0, yeah. So we'll have to wait and see, as you guys might just get your wish.
Yeah. But with that said, you've been watching Champions of the Fog. I've been your host, Little Rugard. I'm gonna be going live tonight with Killer Request and Guild. What do you got going on?
So I will probably be live come Monday, 7 p.m. CST, been playing some Returnal, which is a Metrovania-esque, roguelike-esque game. Really interesting, really cool. If you guys are a fan of those genres of games, then make sure to stop on by and say hi. I am having an absolute blast. But with that being said, we will be seeing you more tomorrow, bright and early, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. CST. Yeah, 10 a.m. CST. And throughout the day as well. So keep your eyes out over here on Twitch and, of course, on the Discords where we'll have our announcements that we are going live.
In the meantime, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Rest up. It's going to be a long day.
Bye-bye.